Hi, my name is Rudraksh Singh and my ZID is 5613833 and this is my student card. So today I'm going to talk about my topic classifying galaxies. How are galaxies formed and evolved over time? After the Big Bang, about 13.8 billion years ago, the universe was filled with gas and dust. Gravity pulled this material into small clouds, creating the earliest galaxies we call protogalaxies. As time went on, these galaxies merged together to form bigger ones, a process known as merging. Galaxies haven't stayed the same since then. They continue to change, grow through galaxy mergers, new stars being born and exploding, and by activity in powerful black holes that can slow down star formation. When galaxies collide, their shapes can change. Spiral galaxies, for example, may become elliptical after a major crash. So we go to the fourth question. Coma versus Hercules clusters. Spiral galaxies are easy to spot because they look blue and white. These colors come from young, hot stars, showing that new stars are being formed there. In contrast, elliptical galaxies look yellowish or reddish, which means they have older, cooler, and a very little star formation happening right now. That's also why elliptical are generally older than spirals. If you look at a spiral galaxy closely, you'll see its central bulge is yellowish, full of old stars, while the disk is bluish with a lot of younger stars. This color helps us understand the ages of stars in each part. So the fifth question, galaxy NGC 6745, bright blue regions reveal places where young stars have just formed. These areas have showed that star formation is active right now. Often, when two galaxies interact or collide, the gas clouds get compressed, triggering even more new stars. You'll notice that new star clusters appear in the spiral arms or when galaxies seem to meet. So, if a galaxy is filled with blue areas, it's forming a lot of new stars. But if it looks reddish, most of the stars are older and star formation has already slowed down. So, we go to the sixth question, and I choose three galaxy clusters which are as follows. The first cluster, RCS2J2327, consists of 7 spiral galaxies, 12 elliptical galaxies, and 1 irregular galaxy. The second cluster, Fornax, consists of 6 spiral galaxies, 12 elliptical galaxies, and 2 irregular galaxies. The third cluster, Abell 3827, consists of 5 spiral galaxies, 14 elliptical galaxies, and 1 irregular galaxy. Now, question 7. Classifying the results of Hubble Ultra Deep Field, and I found out that 7 there were 7 spiral galaxies, 4 elliptical galaxies, and 9 irregular galaxies. Now we move on to the 8th question. Clusters versus HUDF. When comparing cluster galaxies to those in the Hubble Ultra Deep Field, both groups contain spirals, ellipticals, and some irregular galaxies, with star formation active in spiral and some irregulars. However, most cluster galaxies are spiral or elliptical, while HUDF galaxies are more often irregular in shape, showing that galaxies in the early universe were less evolved and more chaotic. This tells us that galaxies usually start out messy, then gradually become structured and mature as they merge, and interact especially in crowded cluster environments where collision create more elliptical galaxies and reduce the number of irregular over time. So we move on to the ninth question, HUDF in 10 billion years. If we could look at Hubble Ultra Deep Field in 10 billion years from now, almost all the irregular galaxies would have changed into spiral or elliptical. The image would have been filled with more mature and well structured galaxies, and there would be far fewer chaotic shapes. We'd also see lot less star formation active and more galaxies with older stars, which means the field would look less crowded and more organized and would really show how galaxies evolve and settle down over time. So we move on to the 10th question, and this is what I learned. From this experiment, I learned how to classify galaxies by their shape and color, which helps us understand how old their stars are and whether new stars are still forming. I saw that galaxies change over time from irregular galaxies to more structured and spiral and ellipticals, and that these changes are mostly driven by interactions and mergers with other galaxies. These are the references. Thank you.